Okay. All right, welcome all. It is a great morning here. Today is July 13th, 2018, lucky 13, because today we get to unbox the latest and greatest from Platinum Pens of Japan, which is this gorgeous 3776 century Kumpoo. And this pair of disembodied hands here is Tamato, and you might have seen me from a few videos on YouTube here at the Gold Spot Pens channel. And also, too, as I want to mention here, we have a microfiber cleaning cloth of which we're going to be posting on the website shortly. That is a great silver and anti-tarnishing cloth and has our logo be put on there. So just to kind of give a little shout out at that and have that at the top right there. So we're going to unbox this Kumpoo, and happens to be my Kumpoo. So no, this Kumpoo is not for you. However, we do still have a limited number of the soft medium Kumpoo. We're completely sold out of the ultra extra fine and the fine nibs, but we do still have some of these available of this limited edition. So we're going to take a look though, and just to give you an idea of what it is to unbox and try out a 3776 Century, because this is modeled after the common 3776 Century, which is available in a whole bunch of different colors that are available every day. However, there are certain features of this particular pen that make it extremely desirable, and I couldn't help myself but buy one. So after taking apart this colorful sleeve here, we have a white box, very simple, unadorned, no brand markings. And we open it up, it's a clamshell box here. We have the Platinum logo in the top bed portion, which is made out of a very sheen material here. And we have first, that kind of appears here are you have a warranty card, which explains the warranty, then a user manual, just in case you need that, and then this neat blotter card here, which explains about the Kumpoo limited edition, which I will read for you. It does say that this is the second of the Fuji series here, which is dedicated to the natural beauty and splendor of Mount Fuji. And it translates into Balmy Breeze is what Kumpoo kind of roughly translates into. And the reason being that this pen has a whole style about it that kind of makes it seem like that the wind is carrying the design of this pen. So you could use this as a blotter card. It is kind of like a absorbent type of material for the paper, but I like to have it just kind of tucked away, and we'll keep that. So this is a cartridge converter filling fountain pen, and this is the Kumpoo. And you can see kind of where the design really shows the reasoning behind their calling it of the Balmy Breeze is that the wave pattern, the kind of the arcing of the resin material, especially when you twirl it in the light here, it just has such a calming and sort of like an organic kind of wave effect that is similar to, like, let's say if you were looking at a weather vane turning in the wind, and you would see that kind of that undulating pattern sort of develop, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. There's not many pens that can, test to having this sort of design. There are some that do the straight lines, like let's say the Omaso Giva has like the straight column sort of lines, but this has such a beautiful organic swirl that is just truly amazing. And then the color and the depth of this color is beautiful as well. So, talking a little bit more about the pen here, there's 2,500 pieces limited worldwide, which is a very small number. And just kind of gauging people's responses to this color and this design, it wasn't enough for this edition. So it's just amazing how just beautiful that this pen is. The this is the soft medium nib. It's a 14 karat gold nib. I'm trying to get up close here to take a look at it. It's 14 karat gold, but it's rhodium plated or rhodium finished. So that means that it matches the silver trims that you see here. So and the soft medium being that it does have quite a bit of bounce, and we'll take a look at that in the writing sample that we'll do. But this is a cartridge converter, so I unscrewed the barrel here, and as the platinum converter that's installed. And if you need, they do provide a cartridge as well. So there's the Platinum cartridge, and a nifty thing that they have as well, Platinum, is a European cartridge adapter, which allows you to, which is something you purchase separately, is to be able to use European style or international style cartridges and not have to be bound by the proprietary Platinum cartridge. So I have this already inked up with Diatramentis Petrol, which I thought was a pretty decent match. I did find other color, of which I don't have any sample of, that I would rather put in here that I think would be a better match, but Petrol will do for now. Like I mentioned earlier, the other nib sizes available in this edition were the Ultra Extra Fine and the Fine in the 14 karat gold. But like I said, those are already sold out. Unique feature about the 3776 collection is the slip and seal cap, which you can see that through the top here is a spring-loaded sort of mechanism that helps cap and seal the nib so that it doesn't dry out between writing, between periods of writing. So when you screw the cap back on, you could kind of feel like as you turn it, it kind of meets a little bit of resistance, but then that last little, about like a half turn, is when that slip and seal kind of pushes into place and allows that nib to stay nice and wet for the next time that you use it. Another thing to kind of note about this particular edition is that the little nut that's at the top here in the cap finial, this is kind of like an abstract representation of Mount Fuji, which is unique to these particular editions. And also, too, is that traditionally the other limited edition 3776 Century pens of the Lakes or the Mount Fuji series usually had the edition numbers below this this top ring here, but this one has it at the very top of the cap finial. So my edition I picked out, was able to pick out on the shelf here, was 1818 of 2500. And I really like that number because this is a 2018 limited edition, so 1818 is a great way for me to remember when I got this pen. So let's see what we went over here. So I'm just reading my notes. 14 karat. Okay, so also too is I wanted to just quickly look at, before we do the writing samples, quickly look at the cap band. This cap band is just so sublimely engraved. It's almost as it's engraved in relief. So the century, the parts that actually are written here, are coming out in relief as opposed to the parts that are kind of engraved a little bit more deeply. But this is just a beautiful engraving that they did here. And a little subtle, ring that's above that cap ring there just really adds a whole dynamic amount of elegance to this pen. So let's move this aside here. We'll do a little writing sample with the soft medium nib. We'll just put this away. And having one of these a polishing cloth, which is actually made by Connoisseurs, which is a jewelry and silverware cleaning manufacturer. They do cloths and polishes and things like that. So having something like this is great for if you have something that uses sterling silver, because then it gets that tarnish and it prevents the tarnish from coming back. But this is a brand new pen, so this does not really need to be polished. But all right, so we are going to try doing some writing here. We got a Rhodia 80 GSM blank tablet. Let me see if I can do this without kind of things getting in the way here. Okay. So, cap posted, this pen is of pretty average size. It's a decent size, and you can see I have pretty average hands. I mean, I don't know. Could use this like a size sample, but this is a coffee mug. This is my hand. Don't have gigantic bear paws, so this pen, it does fit very nicely in hand, and the cap doesn't add anything back weighted to it, so I could write very nicely with it cap posted. So, like I had mentioned earlier, this is a soft medium. So, I don't know if you could see kind of like how I was able to write platinum, and it gives me a bit of line variation. I can squeeze out a little bit of line variation from this pen, but it's not a whole lot. It's really not meant to be like a flexy sort of pen. Not even like, let's say, because I mean, Pilot uses the term soft fine to kind of describe the Falcon or the FA, but this soft medium does not really provide like a ton of line variation. It's just more or less kind of like a bouncy feel. So just naturally, just kind of pressing a little bit on your downstrokes will give you just a very slight hint of that line variation. And there's this wonderful, beautiful smoothness about this nib. It can keep up with very quick writing. And just in general, because of the fact that it has a little bit more pliability, it gives a little bit more of that emphasis and embellishment on, let's say, some of the more active areas of your handwriting. So, like, if I were to just kind of like, be very gestural with it and put a little bit more down pressure on the stroke, it just naturally kind of opens up a little bit more, gives you a little bit more ink on the paper, creates a nice little shading effect on certain inks. So it is but I would not say that this is necessarily a flex. It's just a very beautiful medium point gold nib that it's just absolutely stunning in its ability to be smooth and also to give that little additional bit of cushiony softness to the point. Yeah, so this is different than, let's say, your typical uh, nibs that are offered within the 3776 Century line, in the fact that if this is saying that it's a soft medium, or if you see a soft fine, the other standard line will not have the amount of pliability that you see with what I'm able to achieve here. So it doesn't have quite as much. And as somebody had just had alluded to in the chat, it's a little bit harder than your typical golds would be. So this is just, I mean, I am just absolutely in love with this pen. And I sincerely, even though like I know, yes, we're a pen retailer and that we sell pens and everything, but if you are anywhere remotely interested in this model and just are just love these platinum pens and this looks great to you, you have to snap one up right now because it is just not going to last that long. So head on over to goldspot.com and you could search keyword Kumpoo, and that's where you would find it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in this into our live video. I hope you guys stay inky and take care. Bye bye.